Into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Question, whole story change. No fear, my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah, let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say alleged, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. How's everybody doing today? It's Wednesday, and we're going to talk about this apartment called The Rack. I've scrounged up everything I could find about it. It's not a whole lot, but I think it's important to make note of all these parties that were going on November 12th, 2022. I also dug up a couple small things. One about Christian Gonzalez that we talked about a few days ago being CG, right? I'll share that with you. And what was the other one? Oh, the Austin Agadis chicken boy. I have some information about him, but first we're going to start with The Rack. And I want to say hello to everybody. First, let's start with the awesome Peep Patrol, the mods that are in here. Hello, Ro. Hello, Wade Bird. Hello, Jen. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. That's the Blue Crew, you guys. Awesome moderators in here. Thank you. Thank you. And then I see some of our unique peeps in the green. Hello, Blue Devil, Jur 13. Gigi Butler, hello. I saw that you became a member the other day. I might have missed that one. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday to you. Donna, hello. Mandy. Oh, let's make my glasses work. Jillaland, hello. Happy Wednesday. Cinderella, Ella. Hello to you. And Jenna. Becca. Good to see you guys. There's Christina. There's Christina. Thanks for letting me know. You do what you got to do, girl. Hi, Jen, Wisconsin. Hello. All right, you guys. So, let me show you. I'm crazy. Let me show you what I did this morning. I mean, even if I don't share with you what I did this morning, I'm crazy. So I have this notebook. Okay. I had to put a tab because this is not organized at all. I do this 4-square thing when I plan out like what I want to talk about on my lives, so I can keep a flow going. But I was looking up in the book. This is what the book is really useful for. Okay. So I went through. I'm going to type this up and I'm going to put it in our in a community post for you guys so you can have access for this. We'll make sure it gets on the Discord also. I just went through the book and I started looking at everybody's names that's in the book. And then I wrote down the book page number if they were in there. And then this is why I love the book, because it will tell you which police officer was it, MPD, ISP, the date that they interviewed them. And sometimes it'll tell you the report number. Sometimes it doesn't. So I really got to go digging around to like, if I only have a date and a name, you got to like go searching for that. Thank you for the nail compliment. Thank you. Claire Cirillo. I could not find her in the book. Not that she's not in there, but the pages I looked at today, I have not found her. Kaylee McConkey is the one that I tried to FOIA and they told me it didn't exist. I said yesterday I wasn't going to do any more FOIAs, but I'm really feeling like I want to try to go after this. Also, speaking of FOIAs, I took the last of our donations that we had and I gave it to Lana last night because she was reading over one of the ISP documents that has lots of names and many interviews, and she was going to FOIA that information. And it's along the lines of what we've been talking about, like who was at Allie's and everybody that was out that night. And I really want that. And so I wanted to support her. So I gave her a donation with the last like $50 that we had in that account. And I told her it was from the peeps. So Claire feels left out. Yep. Claire feels left out. Okay. I also didn't see Ashlyn Couch in there. Hunter's in there. He's common, so I didn't put anything. But you can see all these names. I got all these names. We keep coming up with Kenzie. She's in the book. That was interesting. Mr. Chapin has an interview. I thought that would be interesting to look over someday. Not today. Not today. These names, Kaylee Tavernier, Kylie Eppenstein, like who are those people? We're going to talk about Tim DeWolf today. We're going to talk about Tim DeWolf because, and that's what we're going to start with, is this book page right here, page 268. Ashlyn was on the Today Show with her mom. Yes, she was. She was also in one of the like 2020 episodes or something like that. Yeah. And talked about a lot, I believe, in Howard Bloom's book. So Ashlyn, yeah, like totally inserter on the news right at the beginning of the case. And then I don't really see or hear from her in the investigation. So what happened to that? The thing with Ashlyn that will be interesting, I want to do a segment, not today, in the future, on the spare room. We need to do a spare room little episode because I have found at least 2, possibly 3 people claiming to still be connected to that spare room in the book. I'm like, how can two people be paying for this spare room? Are they like, what are they doing? So that was really, really interesting. All right. So I got this list that I'm working on. It is, let me show you how good. So I've got this whole page of names. Look at that. And it's got the page numbers in the book and then the report numbers and then just a little bit of overflow over here. So, and I'm sure I don't have every single person from the book, but a lot. Okay, the rack. This is what made me focus on the rack. Besides the fact that when anybody, if you've been listening to these interviews and they talk about, where were you that night? And if they weren't at Sigma Chi, they'll just say, I was at another party. I was at a different party. Vague, not specific. Sometimes the officers will ask, this one, hard to find information about. Hey, Michelle, good to see you today. Let's see I had my perps. Then that changed. Then I went back. New names came in. I know. Hey, Carmick. Hello. Jen wonders if DM and BF and DM were actually in the spare room. I know there's some controversy about that. Claire was supposedly good friends with, I want to say Xana, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah. Bethany's room did look trashed. It did look trashed. Okay, so this is Tim DeWolf. And this is, who did this interview? Brady Walker. Okay. And this is Tim DeWolf was interviewed on November 18th. So 5 to 6 days after the crime. And we'll be looking at supplemental 53. So DeWolf was present with Chapin in the lodge at Sigma Chi. So here we have a person who actually spent time with Chapin, according to this. We're going to listen to his interview because it's really short, and we'll see if it matches. But they didn't have much contact. Let's see if that helps. Whoops. Make it focus. Did that focus? I don't know if that helped focus or not. Do I have the light on? Oh, there we go. All right. DeWolf said he did not text or have any other electronic communication with Chapin that night. DeWolf here. So Tim DeWolf isn't going to say much about himself. Like, yeah, I was there. I was there when Chapin was there. I didn't spend a lot of time with him. Don't have any electronic communication. Don't know when he left. DeWolf told Walker his friend had been dating Xana for about 7 months and that they stayed together about 6 nights a week. Why would Ethan? It's Ethan. Why would they say his friend? It's Ethan. That's weird. I like these little, whenever you see this little like inset a paragraph that's in a different size text, it's information from a report. DeWolf said there was a party at 1122 King Road at least once a week, and that most were attended by 50 or 60 people. I was just listening to Kai Davis. I was just listening to his interview. He said 20 people max at 1122. He said if 1122 had a party, 20 people max. This guy's saying 50 or 60 people. He knew Kernodle well, but not the others, though he said they all seem to get along really well. All right, that's it. We don't get a lot from Tim DeWolf. Now, I wish we had this interview, but we don't. Detective Walker interviewed a student named Jaden Shepard. Now, if you remember, Xana has a little named Jaden. And I've seen this spelled different ways. In fact, well, you can't see it in the report, but I think there's another page where it's spelled differently in the book. Same last name, Shepard. So this is a guy. There's also a Jaden that's a girl, but this is the guy. And I believe Xana's little is a guy. So I think it's this person, Jaden Shepard. Shepard was roommates with Ethan Chapin last year. So that's Ethan's old roommate. So that person's important. And was currently a roommate of Tim DeWolf. On November 12th, Shepard attended the formal party. Maybe this is not the right Jaden, because I believe the Jaden that would be Xana's little would be a freshman. I don't think so. Jaden and Xana are in the same class. They're both sophomores. So maybe that's not the right person. It is a Jaden, though. Shepard was roommates with Ethan Chapin last year and was currently a roommate of Tim DeWolf. On November 12th, Shepard attended the formal. So he went to the formal and went to the Sigma Chi party afterwards. He left the Sigma Chi party around 1 o'clock in the morning and went to a party at the White's apartment. So a lot of people left Sigma Chi and went to 427 Taylor Avenue, Kennedy and Alleys that we talked about yesterday. This guy, a lot of guys went to a party at the White's, at the White's apartment building, accompanied by Trent Gwynn and Tim DeWolf. Now, do you think Tim DeWolf would talk about that in his interview? The apartment unit they went to was referred to as the Rack. I think this is the only place where I actually see the words. They probably say it in interviews, but it's redacted. So we are going to get a description of where the Rack is, and I believe it is at the far right. Second story, far right. I think it's the complete opposite of Kayla Newen's. I think Kayla, they said, was on the far east. So I think this one's the opposite. So they went at 1 o'clock in the morning. They left. Remember, supposedly the Sigma Chi party ended at 1 a.m. So they leave Sigma Chi and they go over to the Whites, to the Rack. They were at the Whites until around 5 a.m. 5 a.m. It was a quiet night, though, and nobody heard any of those screams, even though they were there at a party from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. miraculously during that time when we hear all the noises. Wade Bird, whose apartment had the blood on it at the Whites? Get the picture, per the picture floating around social media. Yeah, where'd that picture come from? And my big question has been, If they canvassed the Queen Road apartments and they knocked on every door, don't you think they did that at the Whites? They also knocked on every house up and down Queen, behind Queen at the Moyes house, on King. Like, they went to every house, every apartment at the Queen Road apartments. You don't think they went to the Whites and knocked on every door? Where's that body cam footage? And I would love to know if anybody tried to get that. You think those photos are in one of the batches? You think there's photos from the Whites? Ooh, how did I completely miss that? Do we know anybody that has body cam footage at the Whites? At the Whites. What do we mean by party? Good question, Mama's boy. Good to see you. And hello, SRB. Hey, Love and Other Habits. Maybe Lanier canvassed the Whites. He didn't wear a body cam. Yes, I do remember him. I thought he was with somebody, and they did say they walked around like down by Taylor and around that area. I'll have to look into that. I will have to look into that too. Yes. So they were at the Whites until 5 a.m. when they returned to their unit, G unit, at Sigma Chi. They went to bed around 5:30. Shepard had no contact with Chapin since the formal. Oh, so Jaden, he went to the formal, went back to Sigma Chi, never saw Ethan again. And he did not have any contact with Kernodle that day. Isn't that interesting? He used to live with him. You'd think they'd be pretty close. You would think they would be pretty close. Oh, I appreciate you, SRB. 50 Cent. I love rap music and hip hop music. The other day, I was in a mood. Sidetrack, you guys, sidetrack. I was in a mood. I was really mad about something. I forget what it was. And my daughter was in the kitchen with me, and I always try to make her laugh. And I told Alexa, Alexa, oh, it was when my sister was over. So me, my sister, and my daughter were in there, and I was upset about something. And I said, Alexa, play. How did I say? I said, play angry rap music. And it did not disappoint, you guys. It did not disappoint. That was so funny. Okay. Little bit more from here. Walker tried without success to gather more details. Yeah, everybody doesn't want to share the information. From Trent Gwynn. Tried to get more information from Trent Gwynn, who said he saw and spoke with Ethan sometime before 1:15 a.m. Sunday morning at Sigma Chi. So I guess Sigma Chi was technically called the after party after that formal. So a lot of people are saying it was a Jersey party. It could be both. It could be both. So Trent Gwynn here, he saw Ethan. Wait till we hear his interview. Wait, I don't know if he's the one. They interviewed Tim DeWolf with somebody, but I don't think it's Trent Gwynn. I think it's somebody else, but I'll pull it up and we'll see. On November 30th, let's see. Ooh, I'm going to sneeze. Ooh. Now we are moving on to, just the other members. So we started with the book and got the nickname The Rack. Okay. The Rack can conjure up some pretty fringe behavior. You guys, I was thinking about reaching out to Birdie because I know he's from TikTok. And if he's been on TikTok since the very beginning of this case, I want to see if he remembers. And I've asked this probably 5 times on this show, and I haven't come across it yet. I know, I was not lucid dreaming. I heard a video, it was like, you know how the Linda Lane camera just focuses on one spot? It was like that. Okay. I can't remember which camera it was. I don't remember the visual. So it was mostly audio. And the person, it was like daybreak. So the time would have been daybreak, like 5, 6 and 4 or 5. No, it was about 5, 6 in the morning. I think you can hear birds chirping. You don't see anybody, but you can hear somebody open a door, like they're on a balcony, and they go outside, and this music is playing, and it is the most haunting. It is like a heavy metal, like murder song is all I can like remember, like that vibe. And knowing that it was the next morning after the crime, and hearing, and this person's singing, and I've never seen it again. And I saw it on a live on TikTok, and those don't get saved. So I can't go back and find it. And I went to all the old channels I used to watch, and I went through all their footage to see if I could I cannot find it. I cannot find it. So part of me was wondering, was that like some kind of leaked clip from the Whites? Was it from Queen? I mean, the only thing we have is Linda Lane. So you'd have to, I guess our first choice would be it was from Linda Lane. But I don't hear it on there. I don't hear it on the Linda Lane footage. So I keep asking. I just got to find the right person because I know it was out there. Now, whether it was legit, I wanna figure that out. Hey, Mike. Mike, find me that video. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hi, best of me. Let's see. Rosie Russo, hello. Glenn, thank you. All right. So what do we want to do next? I have established that I actually saw the apartment called The Rack. Oh, let's look at this. No, I don't want that. Remove that. Stop. We're going to pull up our map, and we're going to look where I'm talking about. Oh, also, those of you that were asking for, is G Bean in here? I don't think I've seen G Bean. I linked my Google Drive folder. You can only view it. So you should be able to open everything and view it. You can't make any changes if you want like the photos and the documents. So I believe I put it in the links section of Discord. I think is where I put it. All right. So we are talking about I keep losing my tab. There we go. I wish I could draw on this. So over here, I think, can I move this? Will it let me move it? Add place mark. Can you move the place mark? I'm not very, edit. Edit. Can I move it? Small. All right. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So 621 is Kayla N's. Okay. So I think the rack is over here. So I was going to guess. Let's do this live. If this is 621 and it's supposed to be the end apartment, okay? It's supposed to be the end apartment. And this is 619. The tree house is 619. The numbers must be going this way. They must be going, they must go up. So how many apartments do you think? Do you think there's like 4 apartments per building over here? So 621, 620. Oh, wait, 621, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Maybe let me try 628 Taylor Avenue and see what we get. Let's just see what we get. 628 Taylor. Let's see. Where does it put it? Where did it go? Where's it at? Save to I don't even know if I want this on there. Where'd it go? I don't even see it on here. Is it way far away? Nope. The numbers get smaller as they go that way. So it's got to be this way. Maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe it doesn't exist. We're just doing a little experiment here, you guys. So that must not exist because I don't see it. All right. Maybe they're all odd numbers. Let's try 629. Oh, wait, there's 628. I see it. Where did it put it? Where did it put it? Oh, it put it in the middle of the road. So 628 Taylor's in the middle of the road, you guys. Do you see that? Hi, Dago. We're doing some exploring over here. Oh, my gosh. Look at Jen's comment. It's in the Idaho 4 section. Oh, of course. I would put it in the Idaho 4 section. That's true. That's true. Hey, Dago. All right. I think that's funny. They put 628 Taylor in the middle of the road. All right. Let's see where they put 629. Did they do it? I'm trying to see if we could find like an address for the rack, at least to pin it on here. I'm just guessing. What if I type in the rack? Whoops. The rack. The rack house. Oh, no, sorry. The rack Taylor. It's not gonna be there. Moscow. You never know, just being funny. The Grove Mobile. $621. Nope, nothing came up. Nothing. I'm going to try one more. I'm going to try 630 Taylor Avenue. Where does it put that? You guys, they keep putting them out in the road. They must not exist. All right, I'll mess with that another time. So the rack is over here. It said the far right side. I think if you're facing it over here, because we're facing north. So north is up here. So east is over here. They said Kayla ends is the far right. The far east. The far east. And then they said the rack was the far right. If you're facing it from the other way, it would be over here. So that's what I know about that. That's what I know about that. All right, now we are going to look at. We just heard from Tim DeWolf. We just heard from Tim DeWolf and Jaden Shepard, and we do not have Jaden Shepard's interview that I know of. So gotta wait for that. That would be a good one to get since he spilled the tea on the apartment. All right, let me pull up Tim DeWolf here. Jen. 5 typically unique members, and Dago got one. All right, Dago. The best of me, anonymous mystic, cardinal lover, license to chill. Doesn't that start out drop the Beastie Boys? That was like one of my favorite albums. I had the album of the Beastie Boys vinyl. All right, we're going to Tim DeWolf. Let's find Tim DeWolf here. He's the one that they put in to, we just let 2 people be in the interview room at the same time. Just double interview. I might have to go to Christie's. Does Christie have it? Did I go past it? Christie's probably got it. Unless I went right. Okay, Adam Latta, Kai Davis, Ava Wood, Corner Club, Gunderson, Eric Gower. Here it is. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was right at the top. It was right at the top.
AM. This is Detective Sergeant Mike Van Leuven with the Idaho State Police. I'm here at Kai at the University of Idaho.
All right, wait a minute. We got to do this first. We have to do this first. I don't want that. I want this.
Clock it! So I gotta say thank you. Clock it!
New peep alert. Get those peeps in the chat. Do LE normally carry a large gun just for checking underage drinkers? Ooh, that's a good question. All right, so this is Trent Gwynn and Ryan Moffat. We don't have Tim DeWolf. I don't think we have Tim DeWolf. I'll check Christie's when we're done with this. Have you guys seen Tim DeWolf's interview anywhere? I know all the words to every song on the Beastie Boys album. I was a senior in high school, I think, when that dropped, and my car was called the Pumpkin Mobile because it was an orange copper, like 1976 Comet, and Yeah, me and my friend used to just drive around town blasting that. All right, let's see what Trent Gwynn says.
Viewing members, and were both of you in Ethan's pledge class?
No, just me.
Just you. Which pledge class was that?
PC 21.
And what class were you in? So this is going to be a little disjointed just because I'm going to be asking you both the same questions, but you're going to have different answers. So I'll try to keep track of this. So let's start with you first. When did you first meet Ethan?
Rush this year. So what was that, like August, mid-August?
And have you spent a lot of time with Ethan?
I spent not as much as other people did, but I spent some time with him, yes. I would say I was one of the closest ones in RPC with him, besides me in RPC.
How would you describe him as a person?
Energetic, fun.
Okay, I forgot to put the closed captions on. And let me hear what he's saying. One of the closest people. Ethan. All right.
And have you spent a lot of time with Ethan?
I spent not as much as other people did, but I spent some time with him, yes. I would say I was one of the closest ones in RPC with him, besides me in RPC.
How would you describe him as a person?
Energetic, fun, always happy.
What about conflicts? Do you ever get in conflicts with people or fights or anything like that?
Never. If it was over Venmo money just for him, not paying after a meal or something.
Venmo money, you say? Venmo money? How many of you think Venmo money was for food? Was it for food? Or was it for something else? I mean, yes, it could be for food, but
Did you know much about his family?
And that's all I knew of him. So I barely talked to him, so.
Did he talk about his past at all with you?
No.
Growing up or going to high school or anything?
Not really, no.
Who would you say is best friend? How would you characterize his relationship with Xana?
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Did they seem pretty close?
Oh, yeah.
Was there any other guys that were interested in Xana, or maybe Xana dated before Ethan?
Not that I know of.
Speaking of guys that Xana dated before, everyone keeps saying she dated Christian Gonzalez, and I would like to know where that information came from. If anybody knows, where that came from. How do we know that? If she did.
How was Ethan in school as a student?
This year, way better than he was last year. He buckled down this year.
He was out of house because he was on academic probation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he would have been back in the house.
What was he studying?
I think it's sports management, wasn't it? Some sports.
I thought it was tourism.
Could be, yeah. Tourism.
Did he ever talk about having any problems with anybody in any of his classes, or
Never.
problems with professors or anything?
No.
Now his was also a member here. Were you friends with him too?
I was, yes.
Same kind of background questions. Did you ever talk about their background or
Not really.
growing up or anything?
Nothing. Usually.
How about money? Did you ever see him having problems with money or buying things that you wondered where the money came from or anything like that?
No. Never.
That is a good point, Mama's boy, that we can hear several of these interviews, especially with the Sigma Chi guys, all saying the same thing. So then that makes us think that they spoke about what they would say. But your point is the fact that they will actually say out loud, I'm sure you've heard this before. So why would they think the police would hear this before unless they knew they would be hearing it before? Good point. So kind of telling on themselves that, yeah, we spoke to each other about what we said.
What were some of his hobbies that he liked to do apart from school and Xana?
Sports, he liked intramurals.
What sports did he play?
He played volleyball.
What about anything else besides volleyball?
Played basketball last year.
I think he played basketball last year, but not this year.
On an intramural team? Where did he primarily spend time, in your knowledge?
Here at Sigma Chi, he was always in Kai's room. And then if he wasn't in Kai's room, he was at Xana's.
Do you guys think he was saying Kai's room? Kai. So there is let me just back up. There is a Kai that they said last name unknown, where there's an interview. So maybe we should listen to that one. But I'm trying to focus on the rack. But this is interesting. Where did he primarily spend
In
his
your knowledge?
Here at Sigma Chi, he was always in Kai's room. And then if he wasn't in Kai's room, he was at Xana's.
All right, so we know what room now Ethan was in.
Did he have a job?
He did not. During school, he didn't right now, but
Did you ever see him with any weapons?
never.
Was he particularly religious? Did he attend church services or anything?
I don't know. Not that I can recall.
Do you know if he spoke frequently with his parents?
Oh, Kyle. Okay.
Did he talk about what he was going to do after school was over?
Not with me, no.
Did you get the feeling that he and Xana were going to get married?
I did get the feeling to it. I thought they were pretty good together.
Were you here that night before at the party that was here?
Yes.
Did anything happen at the party that you remember that was anything unusual? Any conflicts, any arguments, anybody yelled at anybody?
No, I never saw any of that. I thought it went great. I mean, but
Where were you during the party?
I was on the DJ booth right here.
And do you remember where Ethan was during the party?
I saw him on the stage once, but that was it. And then I talked to him there and then never saw him again after that.
Okay, so they had a DJ at the Sigma Chi party. Trent Gwynn was the DJ. Then Ethan was on the stage, so he must have been doing his little karaoke, or that's probably what he was doing. Okay.
Okay, so do you have any idea what time you left the party here?
Somewhere. What time you weren't there, were you? I don't know, probably like around 1 maybe, 12:31.
Was it a themed party?
Was EXPN that night, so yeah, it was sports themed. Everybody's wearing jerseys and stuff.
He'd come from a formal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was his had invited him to go. Is that right?
Yeah.
Where was that at? What house was that at?
Theta. I was also with him there.
You were.
Mm-hmm.
So did he take Xana?
No, he took, I think, his, I believe.
Was that weird for him to go to a Theta formal?
No, they were very
Xana?
close. No, because Xana was a G5, so she wasn't.
Okay. So again, did anything weird happen at that party? Any conflicts? Anybody?
Never saw anything, no conflicts, nothing.
Anybody out of place?
No one out of place.
Anybody here at the party out of place?
Not that I saw, no.
When did you hear that something bad had happened over there?
The next day at around 11.
Who told you?
Called me. They were texting in our group chat and said that there was an unresponsive person that was found last night.
Okay. And when did you find out that Ethan was one of the victims?
Around 11:30, I think, because I called after that, and then he told me that he was unresponsive and dead.
What was your first reaction when you heard that?
Shock. I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
So just to let you know, and I should back up and see if it's redacted. I don't even know if there's enough redacted in here in the book. Now I know that's why we're trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out, is the book correct? Where'd they get this information from? Okay. Oh, we would have to hear Jaden Shepard. Jaden Shepard, a sophomore at Sigma Chi. Jaden Shepard. He said that he was at the Sigma Chi party. He left the Sigma Chi party at around 1 o'clock with this guy talking right here, Trent Gwynn. Trent Gwynn, according to Jaden Shepard, went to the rack, went to the whites, but we don't hear it. Trent Gwynn is not saying that. So I would like to hear Jaden Shepard's interview, because apparently 3 Sigma Chi guys went to the rack. We've got Jaden Shepard, Trent Gwynn, and Tim DeWolf all went to the whites apartment called the rack after 1 o'clock. So remember, after 1 o'clock is when, really it's around 1:30 when the noises start picking up, right? And I keep saying, I just feel like there's a lot of college students out and about walking between 1 2 a.m. all that time, right? But he doesn't mention it.
Did you guess that foul play was involved, or did you think that it might be just an accident or something?
Maybe drinking. I thought maybe drinking,
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I thought. And then I didn't hear.
When you heard it was a homicide, it was a stabbing, and that all 4 of them had been killed, what did you think?
Wait a minute. He's asking about the murders and he's talking about drinking?
Did you guess that foul play was involved, or did you think that it might be just an accident or something?
Maybe drinking. I thought maybe drinking,
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I thought. And then I didn't hear.
Okay. If it was one person, not 4. Not 4 people, right? Not 4 people. Yeah. Oh, did I miss the time, Dago? What time did he say? Let me see.
Around 11:30, I think, because I called.
Oh, he found out around 11:30. This is another list we need, you guys. We need a list of everybody that says they knew about the crime before noon. Really, they shouldn't have known about it until 1? We need a list of everybody that knew before the 911 call. Oh, you know what else I found in the book? I wrote down the page number, but I don't have it in front of me. It says in the book that Bethany made 3 phone calls before 911. And I think we only know she called Jenna. She called no, Dylan called Emily. So I guess her mom, her dad, and Jenna. Would it be her mom, her dad, and Jenna? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. I was getting her and Dylan confused. Everyone except Bethany and Dylan. Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Dago. Yeah. Everyone except Dylan and Bethany knew what had happened in the house before the 911 call. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. That's a laugh of ridiculousness, not a laugh of disrespect. That's ridiculous.
After that, and then he told me that he was unresponsive and dead.
What was your first reaction when you heard that?
Shock. I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
Did you guess that?
Someone called him and told him that Ethan was unresponsive and dead at 11:30. Like, what?
Not that I saw, no.
Thank you,
When did you hear
SRB.
that something bad had happened over there?
The next day at around 11,
Who told you?
called me. And they were texting in our group chat and said that there was an unresponsive person that was found last night.
Okay. And when did you find out that Ethan was one of the victims?
Around 11:30.
Wait. 11 a.m. text messages that they found an unresponsive person last night. In the group text messages, which are probably Snapchats, those Snapchats are going to be gold. He's not saying that in the morning they were like, oh my gosh, they just found their roommate's dead this morning. Oh no, someone was unresponsive last night. The Snapchat group has it all.
When did you hear that something bad had happened over there?
The next day at around 11.
Who told you?
Called me. And they were texting in our group chat and said that there was an unresponsive person that was found last night.
Okay, we're not allowed to hear the name. Who do you think the name is? Bethany? Or was it Dylan? They were texting in our Snap group. And it's on the screen right there. And said that there was an unresponsive person that was found last night. Yes, Dago. I remember that. You guys, go back and watch WSU Mom Kim, her old the old lives on Dago's where she's on there. Yeah, she said all of this. She did tell us the Snapchats.
Okay. And when did you find out that Ethan was one of the victims?
Around 11:30, I think, because I called you after that, and then he told me that he was unresponsive and dead.
So this guy's saying Snapchats are going around at 11. And then he finds out specifically Ethan is not only involved, but he's unresponsive and dead. So he must have called. Who would he call? Hunter Johnson? Kyle Fry? One of Ethan's closest friends which changes according to the people you ask. Hunter, yeah. Hello, Dinah Sights. Hello.
What was your first reaction when you heard that?
Shock. I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
Did you guess that foul play was involved, or did you think that it might be just an accident or something?
I maybe like drinking. I thought maybe drinking,
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I thought. And then I didn't hear it.
When you heard it was a homicide, it was a stabbing, and that all four of them had killed. What?
Okay. Is he just saying drinking because he doesn't want to say a drug overdose? In my opinion, that would probably be why. Hunter Chapin, thanks. Well, yeah, of course. He's his fraternity brother, who's Ethan's brother. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's, on this interview, he's going to say, oh, probably drinking, but they probably thought a drug overdose. I don't know. I was kind of thinking that way. When Kennedy Fitzgerald said that she didn't walk with the girls all the way down Taylor Avenue, so she didn't see what they did, I was like, ooh, what if they were going out there and, picking up some substances or going to do some substances or things like, I don't know. And then you hear all that yelling out there, like, stop it. And not the blood curdling scream that's like probably at the house, but like just other noises that were out in the parking lot. And I was just, all you can do is think and speculate. And I was like, what if something like that did happen out there? But then I don't know. I think that's far fetched, but my mind did go there for a minute. Dago, I was on Lana's last night and I thought that's what Kennedy said too. You guys, when you listen to Kennedy Fitzgerald's interview, it sounds like she says, and I have to listen to it a few more times because I thought she said, I didn't, you know what? I might challenge her on that one. I thought she said, I didn't walk with them because I didn't want to see what they were doing. Right. And then she says, if you know what I mean. I think that if you know what I means something. And then Lana was saying that that Kennedy just says, I didn't walk with them, so I didn't see where they went or something like that. But I don't think that makes sense with if you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm off topic, but I was talking about everybody being out in that area, and that group that Kennedy walked is one of those groups. So think about that. We've got possibly Dylan, Bethany, Yessie, Lakeland. If everything Kennedy said was true, we've got that group of people walking down Taylor Avenue somewhere between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. According to Jaden Shepard here, who we don't have his interview yet, he says him, Tim, Trent Gwynn, Tim DeWolf, they all left Sigma Chi and they're walking towards the Whites at like 1:15, 1:30, somewhere around there. These are lots of people all out and about, and I'm tracking these. I want to know these names. I want to know who is out there. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this. I kind of thought that's who it was, Bubbly, but yeah, I'm not sure. Talking about Gideon? Yeah. We'll have to do a maybe tomorrow I'll play that clip and we'll decide which one it is with Kennedy. Okay, we're gonna finish up. I'm not gonna play Ryan Moffat. I don't think. I'm just gonna stop with, because I don't even know this. Who is this Ryan Moffat? Who is he? I've got names here. Here are the Sigma Chi brothers that got interviewed. Kyle Fry, Reed Offthum, John Fallon, Drew Carter, Ryan Moffat, Kelvin Cobley, Conrad Harrison, Matthew Manson, Wesley Rebick, for the victimology purposes.
What do you think?
I was in shock. I was like, I had no idea what to think. I couldn't even believe it.
Do you suspect anyone or have any ideas about who might have wanted to do this or why?
No, absolutely not.
Did you know Maddie and Kaylee?
I'd been around, but I wouldn't say I knew them.
Did they ever come here to parties?
Yes, I think they did.
You think that?
Yeah, I never saw them here, no.
How did you know Maddie and Kaylee?
They were roommates with Xana, and I've been over to Xana's, and I've seen them there before.
How many times have you gone over there and hung out at that house?
3. Or I went over and hung out twice, and then the other time I was grabbing a speaker.
And who were the people that were normally there?
Xana and Ethan usually.
But did you ever go over there when there was like a group of people, like a party?
Me, Ethan, Xana, and Kyle were over there with a group up. I don't know the other 2 girls that were there. They weren't the roommates.
Were there other guys there, like Delts or?
I've seen Belts there before at parties, and I've seen Betas there before.
So did you ever witness any altercation?
That was a pretty specific answer, wasn't it? How many times have you been over to that house? He didn't just say, oh, quite a few or a lot, or, he's like 3 times. Once was to get a speaker. That's funny. They had some of those answers locked and loaded, ready to go.
Incident over at that house? Any fights between people?
Never.
Or any girls being mad at somebody else?
Nothing out of the ordinary at all.
Did you ever hear about any of the girls, complaining about a stalker or somebody that they didn't trust or they didn't want to be around or anything like that?
Nothing. No.
Have there been any unusual incidents, like apart from this, that have just happened in the general area in the last year that you can think of that were like, a robbery or a prowler or somebody's car getting broken into or anything like that?
Nothing.
Okay. Circle back to Ethan. Is there anything unusual about his past that has happened to him or that he's accomplished that's out of the ordinary that you can think of?
Well, just the biggest thing was like him being last year like deficient, and then now he's just like he was academically well, like started figuring his classes out and was doing better in his classes, was going to be back in the house.
Okay, but as far as some past car accident where he was the driver and maybe hurt somebody or something?
Nothing.
Okay, how about drug use? And again, let me preface this with both of you just by saying we don't care about that. So we're just trying to see if he had a connection to another group that may have been responsible for this. So I understand that he used Adderall from time to time that he vaped.
Isn't that interesting that the cop just flat out came out and said, like, he's asking this question, leaning towards, I don't know why they just don't want to talk about drugs. Like, come on. It's 2026. Drugs are all over that campus. Like, come on. Like, it's been in the news. There's been massive drug busts all over the country with like well-named, Harvard and, Duke and these places where they're getting busted. Like, just ask these kids. And I think they, I don't want to say the phrase that I'm saying. They beat around the bush when they're talking about this, and that I think, it keeps it hidden. Right. And like people act like it's not a thing. Like they should stop doing that. Like call it out. Then I think that's the way that you try to end that problem. But so he's trying to ask him about drugs. And he literally says, we're trying to connect Ethan to a group. We are trying to see if Ethan is connected to a group. For the, about drugs. Oh, I wanted to address the Gideon Roberts thing. So, I watched a lot of Lana's Live last night, not all of it. And I saw a lot of comments about there's 2 Gideons. Okay. There's 2. One is a student who was with Dylan that night at Sigma Chi. Okay. And then there's also an officer. I think isn't he an ISP officer? And I think that's Gideon Roberts, right? So one is a police officer, you guys. He's just, when we talk about a police report and we say it's Gideon Roberts or whatever the person's name is. So I think that's the confusion. It is Roberts. Thank you, SRB. And I saw your comment about the photos. Thank you. I will look at those in a second. I appreciate that.
And that there was some cocaine use was happening over there too. Are you familiar with any of
I was
that?
familiar with the Adderall, but none of the cocaine or, yeah.
Okay. So do you know where
He just said,
he got his Adderall from?
I do not.
Okay. Anything drug related to that house that you can think of that we should know?
Nothing. That's what I would know anything.
I think that's about all I have for you.
they are not gonna snitch on their brothers and sisters. They're not snitching. They've got omerta, the code of silence.
That he vaped and that there was some cocaine use was happening over there too. Are you familiar with any of
I was
that?
familiar with the Adderall, but none of the cocaine or, yeah.
Okay. So do you know where he got his Adderall from?
I do not.
Okay. Anything drug related to that house that you can think of that we should know?
I think he said someone else snitched on the cocaine. Let's see. Oh, I understand that he used cocaine and vape. Well, the person who said that he vaped was a Sigma Chi brother. I was just listening to that earlier. Oh my goodness. Christina, you're good. I don't ever get mad. I don't think anybody should get upset with anybody in this case for confusing anything. There's so much information. I mean, we're going on it's going to be 4 years. Well, 3.5 years. And we're learning, especially now, there's like so many names that just got put out to the public with this book, and it happens. All right. So in this case, sometimes we have to pay attention to what is not said to learn something. Okay. Or maybe come up with more questions to lead us to something. So I'm going to say it one more time, that Jaden Shepard gave an interview where he left the Sigma Chi party with Tim DeWolf and Trent Gwynn, and he went to the Rack, which is an apartment at the Whites. They went there somewhere between 1 in the morning and 1:30 in the morning, and they stayed there till 5 a.m. But when we're listening to Trent Gwynn, he never even brings it up. I don't even think it's redacted. I think he doesn't even bring it up. He doesn't talk about it. Okay. All right. So what else do I have about the Rack? Moscow Police Department number 15. Moscow Police Department report number 15. Oh, wait a minute. That's not, why does it say supplement? I don't know if this is the right one. Oh, it is. Okay, this is Aaron Morris. This was from November 15th. He interviewed 2 different people. Okay, so the first paragraph is about the people from the Women's Center saying that someone showed up. Okay, that's separate. That has nothing to do with this other part. He interviewed wait a minute. Is this the one I want? This is not the one I want. That's a treehouse. I don't want that one. All right. I was getting confused between the rack and the tree house, you guys. So I'm going to go to ISP 53. See, Christina? See how I just got confused? It happens. It happens. I didn't write down my page numbers. Here we go. 53. Okay. So this is November 18th. Uh-oh. Okay. Woo. Okay, so this is how they start this off. Let's read this. On November 18th, 2022, Idaho State Police Detective Brady Walker, interviewed somebody by phone at blank. ISP Trooper Kristen Noah was present during the phone call. The phone call was recorded. That's good. This report details the phone interview with this person. Okay. This report also contains summaries from interviews with blank and blank. So 2 other people who were with someone on the night of November 12th, 2022. Those summaries are also documented in supplemental 52. All right, I'll have to go back up to 52 after this. All right, here's what we're learning about this. You know, I wonder if this is Jaden, Trent, and Tim. I don't know. It was reported to me that blank had text conversations with Ethan Chapin the night of the incident, but blank denied that. That's interesting. Didn't we just listen to an interview that said he didn't have, or I read it in the book. Tim DeWolf. Tim DeWolf is the hard denier, you guys. Tim DeWolf is the one in the book right here on page 269. He said that he was present with Chapin in the lodge at Sigma Chi, but they didn't have much contact. DeWolf said he did not text or have any other electronic communication with Chapin that night. Okay, I don't know 100% if that's who this is, because we're looking at black boxes. Can we all get a degree in reading redactions? I'm going to give out certificates, you guys. We're all going to get certificates of completion for reading redacted documents. We're professionals. Blank had been in the blank as Chapin for a year and a half and described Chapin as one of his best friends. I'm just checking to see if it says that in here. I don't know who that is. Blank lived in an apartment at probably Sigma Chi. His roommates are, so he's got, I don't know. Blank lived in an apartment at the Whites. I'm just guessing. We need to figure this out. Right here. Blank lived in an apartment. I don't think they would say in an apartment at Sigma Chi. I just think they would say he lived at Sigma Chi. That's my opinion. So let's see. This person lived in an apartment at the Whites. Just guessing. His roommates are, so 1, comma, there's a comma. They're putting middle names. Blank, 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 comma. Who has 3 names? 1, 2, 3 names? Who has 3 names? Redaction fatigue. I kind of like it. It works my brain. I like using my context clues. John Jack Showalter. He's not a Sigma Chi, though. We need a Sigma Chi guy. Who's a Sigma Chi with 3 names? Oh, no. If we're talking about an apartment, yeah, it could be anybody. Okay. All right. Blank, blank. So 2 first name, last name, and then 1 big thing here. What is one big? I don't know. I'm trying, you guys. And blank. Oh, Blanco. Blanco. Do you guys see the O? Can you see it? Here. Right there. Oh, that's the eraser. Blanco. Oh, 1 can, Leanne. That's awesome. I love doing this kind of work. Unknown number. Okay. Blank was present with Chapin in the lodge at blank, but they didn't really have much contact. Blank specifically said he was off doing his own thing and hanging out with his girlfriend. When I asked who his girlfriend was, blank paused and said, I don't really feel comfortable answering these questions. What? He doesn't want to answer personal questions about his girlfriend. Let's see. Wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. Let me make this a little smaller so I can see it. Let's see. When I asked who his girlfriend was, blank paused and said, I don't really feel comfortable answering these questions. I don't know. I asked blank if there was any reason why. He replied, I don't know, like out of respect of Ethan. What? Like out of respect for Ethan. Why would his girlfriend, he's doing his own thing with his girlfriend, and I can't tell you my girlfriend's name out of respect for Ethan. I don't know, like, okay, blank, blank is my girlfriend. Is that Xana Kernodle? Maizie? Oh, Maizie would be the only other thing that makes sense, SRB. That would be the only other thing that makes sense. Is this Maizie? So did Maizie lie to Hunter? Is this Maizie Chapin? And she really was there that night? Was she upset because she was lying to her brother? Why would Maizie have to hide the fact that she's with somebody? We got to figure out who this is. We have to figure out who this is. November 18th. Let me see. Tim DeWolf was interviewed on November 18th. by Brady Walker. Is this Brady Walker, you guys? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So Brady Walker, ISP 53. If anybody wants to know, November 18th. Is this Tim DeWolf? Yeah, because they interviewed Jaden Shepard on November 19th. And they interviewed when was Trent Gwyn's? I'm looking for the date of Trent Gwynn. Okay. So we'll look at this one next. I'm kind of like off the path of the rack, but we'll get back to that. Okay. So right now, concerning the White's apartment, that is the rack, we've got 3 Sigma Chi guys going over there. We've got 3 Sigma Chi guys going over there. We've got possibly one of those guys, I'm not sure, possibly dating Maizie Chapin. We're just guessing. All right, let me continue on with this. We've got, after he says, I don't know, like, okay, blank, blank is my girlfriend. I'll just answer this. So it's like he gave up, like he caved. Okay, let me tell you. And now I'll just answer the questions. Okay. After that, blank seemed more forthcoming with information. Okay. So he was freaking out because whoever he's dating is disrespectful to Ethan. Okay. This is paragraph 4. Blank and blank were at blank most of the night. Blank went to bed early, and then he went to the, you guys, what if this is Trent? What if this is Trent and Maizie? Or what if this is Tim and Maizie? We're at the Sigma Chi house most of the night, or we're at the lodge most of the night, or we're at the fraternity most of the night, whatever that word is right here. What's that word? Someone went to bed early. What if Maizie went to bed early? And then he went to the White's apartments? Dago, what are you saying? Come on, Kim. What? What do you mean? She said she did. Wait, let me look at your comments, Dago. Kim just solved the damn case already. I'm trying, Dago. I'm trying. So SRB, Maizie says in a written report that she stayed home. Yes, but we need that verified. I'm not believing anybody. And I saw it, Dago. I saw it. That's funny. SRB says maybe it makes more sense, or maybe more so if Ethan didn't think this guy was good enough for Maizie. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She did. So you know how some people are, like, again, we're speculating. We are speculating because all Moscow Police Department gives us is a bunch of black boxes. So we're trying to make sense of the information, right? So in Maisie's interview, she said, I stayed at my sorority and I went to bed early. Okay. So maybe she went to bed early, but she was at her boyfriend's house. This This is like a soap opera. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go back. This is interesting. I didn't even realize that this read like this. All right, so someone went to bed early and then he went to the Whites' apartments. He went there with blank, blank, and blank, blank. Did he go there with Tim DeWolf and Jaden Shepard, who were a couple of his fraternity brothers, you guys? Of course. And they went around 1:30 in the morning. This is making sense. This report is 1 out of 3 people. It's 1 out of 3 people. It's either Jaden Shepard, Tim DeWolf, or Trent Gwynn. As the world turns at the University of Idaho. Good one, Ro. She was dropped off at the sorority first, but could have gone to his place after, which could be why she told Ethan she was going to bed. Absolutely, Dago. Absolutely. Something. Yep. All right. All right, here we come to the rack. They went to the upper right apartment. Blank believed it was number, I don't know. And it was commonly called the rack by everyone. Oh, I'm filling that in because it's in the book. It's in the book. If you weren't here at the very beginning of the live, it's on page 269. On page 269, it says, Jaden Shepard left the Sigma Chi party around 1 a.m. and he went to a party at the White's apartment building accompanied by Trent Gwynn and Tim DeWolf. The apartment unit they went to was referred to as the rack. They were at the White's until around 5 a.m. Okay. You know what's interesting, though, you guys? Oh, Trent. Didn't Trent Gwynn say he went to the formal? Didn't he just say in his interview that he went to the formal? Tim DeWolf was with Fitzgerald, Madness Fitzgerald. Thank you, Bubbly. SRB, maybe we cracked why Maizie was upset. Yeah, maybe he did find out. Maybe he found out, so she's like, screw it. I'm just going over to the fraternity house to be with my boyfriend because now he knows. I don't know. I thought it was Ethan that made Maizie cry, juror 13, but maybe not. Yeah. Kiss me. Hello. Wait, Jen's the only one. Christina. They could hire me to read through those Epstein files. Oh Lord, that would be amazing. Jenna, am I new? Oh, Jenna, am I new? Hello. Paco Jewel. Yeah, remember, there's no love triangle. I thought it was Xana. What if it was Xana? Because remember the text you're getting cheated on? So I'm torn here. If this is Xana or Maizie. I kind of think Maizie makes more sense. But then we've got the you're getting cheated on text. So I don't know. All right. So I definitely think this is the 3 Sigma Chi guys that I just read. And I really feel that this is the rack because it says it in the book on the same page that they're talking to these guys. There was a male resident there at the rack named blank. Does it start with a C? Unknown last name, you guys. Chapo. I'm just kidding. Chapo, unknown last name. So it doesn't say he lives there. Oh, yes, it does. There was a male resident there at the rack named, we don't know, no last name. Also, along with, here we go, three names again. First name, middle name, last name, and a couple of unidentified females. So I feel like the rack is a male apartment, right? The rack. There were some girls over there. They stayed there for a couple hours before leaving around 3:30. Would these be the Banfield boys? What time did the Banfield boys get caught? And they were going back to Sigma Chi. Oh, I spelled it wrong. I did it wrong. I did it backwards. Sigma Chi. Oh, you guys are talking about that in chat. I found another photo, SRB, of the one that's hard to find, I think. I think it's a Lauren photo. Let me go scream. 2:45. Wow. What time did the Banfield boys get caught? Banfield was around 3. They are all Alpha Kappa Lambda. Okay, thank you, Michelle. Thank you. See what I mean, though? So we've got 3 Alpha Kappa Lambda guys out in the Banfield. We've got 3 Sigma Chi guys out and about. There were so many people out there. They stayed there for a couple hours before leaving around 3:30, returning to Sigma Chi. When they left the blank, they went down the stairs across the parking lot, crossed Taylor Avenue, and went across the field to blank. Blank made some food and went to bed around 5. That's a long time to be awake. An hour? What was he cooking? Blank said he did not text or have any other electronic communication with Chapin that night. He did not know when Chapin left the party. This has to be Tim DeWolf. He says that in the book. He didn't have any electronic communication with Chapin that night. I'm wondering. Blank knew Chapin and Kernodle had been dating since before the previous school year ended. He estimated it was about 7 months. Chapin stayed with Kernodle about 6 days a week. Blank said he knew Kernodle fairly well, but did not know Gonsalves or Mogan. Blank would see Gonsalves and Mogan here and there, but they would not sit down and have a conversation or spend time together. Blank went to King Road once every week or 2 weeks. He said a party was hosted there about weekly. A typical party would be attended by 50 or 60 people. Isn't that in the book? Let me see. I'm just comparing. Who said 50 or 60 people? I just read that, didn't I? Didn't I just read that? Yep, DeWolf. So quotes from the book are matching this report, okay? Senor, hello, senor. You paid for the chain of custody for the 112 footage. Oh, that's going to be telling. Bubbly's going to find out what's in the water in Idaho to make all these triplets. Maybe it's they all did the in vitro fertilization, right? DeWolf was subpoenaed. Heck yeah. Do you guys think Tim DeWolf was dating Maizie Chapin, or is he the one having the affair, possible love triangle with Xana? I was trying not to bring that up, Dago, because I was gonna, let you bring that up. Juror 13 just gave a donation towards the goal. Thank you, Juror 13. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank 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 you for the support. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. It just came up, SRB. I know it just came up. I think Bubbly already knew. No big deal, says Dago. Yeah, are you kidding? Everybody's still going to want to see all that. That's going to be amazing. A wolf in sheep's clothing. Oh. Yes. Yeah, you guys, lots of multiples in this case. All right. So I'm lots of clues in here that this is Tim DeWolf, and I love doing this. So is this Tim? Knew Chapin and Kernodle had been dating since before the previous school year ended. He estimated it was about 7 months. Chapin stayed with Kernodle about 6 days a week. Whoever this is, Tim, whoever, said he knew Kernodle fairly well. So it's not, so then it's got to be Maizie they're talking about, or he wouldn't say, I know Kernodle fairly well. It's got to be Maizie, you guys. Scandalous. It's scandalous. Thank you, Bubbly, trying. But did not know Gonsalves or Mogan as well. Blank would see Gonsalves and Mogan here and there, but they would not. I read that part. Blank went to 1122. I read that part too. Oh, I was at the 50 or 60 people. Tim DeWolf does say that. He says 50 or 60 people. He described the dynamic of the house as fine and stated that they all seemed to get along really well. We're going to say this is Tim, right? Timmy boy knew somebody for about 1.5 years. Is that Maizie? Is this Maizie Chapin? Is this Maizie Chapin? Listen to this. I'm just going to fill in the blanks. Tim knew Maizie Chapin for about 1.5 years and knew her fairly well. Oh, I thought it said her family well, and knew her fairly well. Blank did not have a... Oh, no, it's not. Blank did not have a boyfriend and had lived at 1122 King Road since the start of that semester. Okay, nope, I'm wrong. We got to try it out. Sometimes we got to try it out. So who in the house does not have a boyfriend? Bethany. Got to be Bethany. So this has to be BF. BF for about 1.5 years and knew her fairly well. Bethany did not have a boyfriend and had lived at 1122 since the start of the semester. Tim had just met Bethany, I don't know, at the beginning of the semester and knew her from going to 1122 King Road to hang out. Had just met. Is this Maizie? Is this Maizie? I don't know. Someone did not have a boyfriend that blank was aware of. I don't know. This paragraph's confusing. Maybe it's all about Bethany. Not sure. It continues. Blank could not think of any person who would do something like this. I'm also including the interview summaries of person 1 and person 2. 1 Sigma Chi, 2 Sigma Chi, 3 Sigma Chi's who were with blank Timmy Boy the night of the incident with this report due to their proximity to 1122 King Road. All right, here we go. November 19th is going to be who? Jaden Shepherd. Jaden Shepherd. And then let me see who the next one is. I tried to contact. Called me back on November 25th. I don't know if I have that one. I don't have November 25th. I have someone on the 21st. I'm going to have to dig for that. I am going to have to dig for that. Okay. Bethany was a player. Hey, no shame, no shame. Guess what I did, you guys? I ended my live yesterday, and if you were on here, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to go get my tire fixed today." Remember? So I get off, and my daughter's girlfriend, she was gonna we were coordinating things, and I looked at her and I was like, "It's today, right? I'm supposed to go get my tire today." She's like, "No, it's tomorrow." So today I'm 1000% sure going to get my tire fixed today. I called yesterday and confirmed. I'm like, "Can you please tell me, make sure it's tomorrow?" So I think we found a huge nugget here. Possibly. If that's Maizie, that's huge, you guys. I haven't heard anybody talk about anything like that. Have you guys? Hi, Arya Stark. Good to see you. So I'm excited about that. And I want to dig into these 3 Sigma Chi guys a little bit more. We read who we believe is Tim DeWolf's report. And it is included with the 2 other Sigma Chi guys. Okay. So this episode was about the rack. And apparently these 3 Sigma Chi guys left Sigma Chi around 1 a.m, walked over to the whites to the rack. Okay. So just one more time before we conclude this. I'm just being silly. Let's look at we've got Sigma Chi here, and 3 of those guys going over here. Oh, wait, over here, right here, right? So they're walking. Think about this. They're walking from Sigma Chi across the field, right? This way. I'm going to put lines on here. And supposedly Bethany and Dylan and Lakeland and Yessie and whoever else, they're walking down the street this way. So it's like this, all these people are converging in this area. Okay. I think I added Maisie's. What is Maisie's fraternity, you guys? I heard somebody say beta and I heard someone say theta. I don't think I have it on here. Anybody know Maisie's? Oh, wait, maybe I have it on my board. Let me see. Nope, I did not write it down. I did not write it down. All right, I was going to put it on the map. I'll do that for tomorrow. I will do that for tomorrow. We need Maisie's. We need to add her sorority to the map. To the map. It's in the book what her sorority is. Oh, of course. I probably got it tabbed, Dago. How fast do you think I could find it? I know I have it. Let's see. Start counting. Maizie. Where's Maisie's page? BK, Kayla. I know I have it marked. I think it's towards the beginning. I think it's towards the beginning. Let me see. Hunter. Let me see. I'm looking. It's taking me longer. I didn't do a good job on this one. I found the page about the hair, though. Anybody telling me in the chat? Alpha theta? Alpha theta? Kappa alpha theta. Did you guys find it in the book? Or you guys just know? I was just looking at Maisie's interview page today. Now I feel like I have to prove a point. I didn't do a good job, though. We've got Sophia, Christy. Nope. I'll just put in, you looked, Kappa, Alpha, Theta. Alpha. You guys are saying different things. You can't say different things. Page 237. Thank you. Oh, see, I hadn't made it that far yet. Thank you. No, I went past it. Oh, it's in the chart. It's in the chart. Oh, it's in the chart. Kappa, Alpha, Theta. I feel like I knew that. All right, let's add it. Let's add it and see where it's at. Kappa, Alpha. Thank you for helping me. Theta. We want Moscow. It's on Elm Street. There it is. Save it to the project. So there's Alpha Phi, Kappa Alpha Theta, Beta Theta Pi. This is Jectacor's fraternity. Here's the Pi Phis. So that would have been where Ethan dropped off Maizie. All right. We just keep adding to our map. We just keep adding to our map. Okay, so I am going to come back tomorrow with, I still have more documents related to the rack. And now, hopefully, I could try to find some more information. No wonder they don't want us to hear Maisie's interview. What do you guys think about that? We can't hear, they won't release Maisie's interview. Is it because it's just personal? It's like too personal? That's weird, though. That's really weird. Thank you, Christina. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to come back with all, continuing on with the rack. And then I also found some treehouse tidbits. So we'll do that tomorrow, you guys. I got to go run and throw dinner in the crock pot, run and get my tire fixed, and then come home and eat dinner. And I will be in Dago's chat later. I'm sure he's going live. Go over there because he's going to be talking about, it's like interesting finds day. That's what we should call it. Interesting finds in the Idaho 4Case day, I think. Christina says they may have asked them not to release theirs. Yes, of course. Of course. It's just too embarrassing. It's just too embarrassing. Hello, Jeff. Hello. Unfortunately, I'm ending the show for now, Jeff. Sorry about that. You guys, thank you for all your comments in the chat. I always go back and like look through them. Screenshot, like if you guys ever give me like any tidbits, I appreciate you helping me out. It takes all of us, all of our brains together to do this. So thanks, Gigi Butler. Thanks for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. I hope it's not raining where you're at. I hope you get some sunshine. Have some fun today. I'm going to clock out for now. But I will be back tomorrow, hopefully, my normal time, 11:30. And I don't think I have a million chores to do yesterday. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. All right, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. That could be unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. Show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and wild to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.